Majo John Madden Juanito here in Mexico, where I've been for almost 2 years. Standing in the doorway of my tiny house at the north end of the Acamal Pueblo in the Riviera Maya. I made a video a couple of mornings ago, an extended video about to watch or not watch the horror show unfolding in my homeland, the U.S. Because all the fears of what Trump might do are coming true. He's determined to do them. I had a wonderful day yesterday. I had a wonderful day. Real creative time with my videos and beginning the process of getting my videos in front of people with much bigger megaphones, which is the next step with them. And then in the evening, I had a fabulous hour-long talk. I was making a video about my isolation and loneliness here in this Pueblo where there are no other Americans, at least at this end, and my need to move. As I was making that video, my really good friend Norm back from Chicago called, and I said in the video, "Gotta run, Norm is here, bye." And we had a spectacular talk, which involved me saying some really hard truths about our mutual friend Lee. Stuff that made Norm squirm because he doesn't like disharmony. But it was so good to say them to him, who has known me for at least 30 years. So I was great. And then I made the fatal mistake of tuning into the U.S. news, and it absolutely sunk my consciousness. It was so horrifying. He had a nasty phone conversation with the Danish prime minister about, we want Greenland. He means it. We want Greenland. And he's got the whole nation of Denmark in a tizzy. And when Colombia didn't want to take back a military plane full of deportees, the president of Colombia says, no, we're not taking them. Trump demonstrated what's going to be his style of international diplomacy, not coalition building and collaboration like Joe Biden, no, bullying. He said, okay, we're going to slap a 50% tariff on all your stuff. We're going to ruin you. Fuck you. And finally, the Colombian minister attempted to be bold and say, we will not be bullied, but finally he gave in. So that's what it's going to be like. The worst one was maybe a 5-minute radio program on National Public Radio. Trump and Tom Homan, his ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement guy, bully, are claiming, oh, we're only going after the criminals. We'll get those out first. But this showed this interview with Mexicans in Waukegan, a suburb of my town, Chicago. And when they went into the house to interview the family, the daughter who greeted them was Lupita. What's the name of my barber over here in Acamal? So this hits so close to home for me. It hasn't yet hit close to home for the average Mexican who doesn't watch U.S. news or listen to U.S. news, but it will when they start hearing what's happening to their friends and family in the U.S. Because this story showed how Mexicans with no criminal involvement, and they're a big part of the U.S. workforce, by the way, huge part of the U.S. workforce, the undocumented immigrants. This family is living in terror. They're afraid to go out of the house. None of them has criminal history, but average Mexicans in the U.S. with bad documents are terrified. And then they're going to start to be sent back or babies ripped away from them because the Trump team has made it clear we're going to do more of that. The whole thing of babies in cages. And I know about that because I was in Brownsville, Texas 2 years ago, where the biggest orphanage in the country because of babies put in cages. I've been there. I've crossed the border into Matamoros and watched the hundreds of people, beautiful people, waiting to try to get into the U.S. This comes close to home for me. Horrified, angry at my wealthy Texas and U.S. expat friends in Cozumel who try to be good gringos. They claim they're good gringos because they're learning a little Spanish and they treat their staff nice, but voted for Trump because they wanted the tax cuts. I've sent a note to one of my friends in Cozumel who runs a nice restaurant saying, okay, is this what you wanted? Are you paying attention? They probably are not paying attention or pretending, oh, it's, they just won't face the fact of the horrors that they have unleashed out of their greed. I'm mad. So today I'm going to have a productive day. I woke up with a message to Norm about follow up on that conversation, and I sent that audio. The next thing I'm going to do is I've made my YouTube videos don't always get viewed much. I haven't cracked the code on that, but I realized you're putting together products that you're going to be selling here in the Riviera Maya, and it includes teaching about the spiritual life. I call it Vida Extatico, the ecstatic life. Well, a couple of those videos you made that have no views yet were really good videos about how to live in an ecstatic way. Put them in your package. You're going to create a separate YouTube channel for the Vida Extatico, which will include your products and your teaching in that area. Those videos are going to have a life for the right audience. So I'm back. I just did listen to 5 minutes of national news on National Public Radio, and then I started to listen to the 15-minute show up first, which goes deep into 3 stories, and said, no, you made a deal with yourself that you would listen to this while you were preparing your breakfast. You did that. Now, get on with your day, rescue your consciousness, because even if the whole world is going to go up in flames because of Trump and climate change, even though there's so many ways you can't in Mexico escape the horrors that he's doing, you have to stay productive. You have to stay in a good place yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to teach other people how to take care of themselves. You have to live out your mission, which includes speaking the truth about the U.S. And I'm posting on Blue Sky, which is the really good social media that's replacing Twitter, where all the thinkers and influencers are going. I will go there and I will post my stuff there and I will cheer on my friends in the U.S. And I will live out my life here in Mexico in a productive way, live out my mission. By God. Thanks.